and many, many different things. We're going to discuss it later on with our guest for today. So hold on, we'll be back right after this.
Through a lot of advantages in our life. Do something new in your life, so you're going to feel it, and then you're going to have the passion. When you have the passion, you're going to go forward and forward and forward. That is what I call, achievement.
Like doing what? Because I said before, we were talking before about the job and the career, and how many of the people, when they think about summertime, the only thing they think about is to go on for some courses for the computer and the English language.
Great. That was in the 70s. Are we getting developed?
And still so far, and still.
The thing is, we have a lot of activity we can do as youth. We're going to use our power to have a career development. We can use the summer training in one of the corporate chains or international, multinational companies. We can do trainings. Like we go to the new marketing segmentation nowadays. We call it the human development courses or training. Okay, we get interpersonal courses that will enhance definitely our skills. Then we move forward to go and develop others. Because the benefit of having new information is you put it into action. If you want to put it into action, you have to learn how to do it into action. Now it's free time for everyone to do more activity, do planning, achieve their objective if they have just to start with planning.
You were talking about the market, so let's first ask, where is the market taking us?
Well, nowadays,
yeah,
HR, human resource. Human resource is expanding. Early in the 19th, everyone was trying to put personal development to themselves, and they did succeed actually. Now HR managers, HR directors are getting the most expensive budget in the world, not only in the country. So HR is the new era for every company, every person, or every individual.
Maybe if you are talking about services or something like this, or any kind of job, it depends upon the people delivering the service. So it is that important.
Let me tell you something concerning HR. There are a lot of services that HR nowadays will do to achieve the organization goal. For instance, we want to enhance the performance of the organization. So we have to do training for the people in the organization to do that. We would like to do a succession planning thing for our organization through the individuals. Our individuals, they have needs. We want to assist the needs and then put it together with the organizational needs, and then we're going to have organization development. We call that in HR the learning organization.
Doctor, tell me how to change the negative thoughts to get the positive actions.
Well, that's a good question. Tony Robbins is the best motivator. He's a great motivational speaker. He did a great equation for positive thinking. He lies actually the 5 steps for positive thinking. But let me tell you first, why negative thoughts are always in our mind. Because of the environment. The environment sometimes is not helping us to do whatever we want, and we have this law. Environment will always change us. We are not going to change the environment. So how we're going to achieve a positive thinking through that environment? Well, Bruce Lee once said that if you deal with the environment as a water, so you just hit the water will splash. So great, you take the splash and turn it into whatever you want. You can turn it into ice. You can turn it into iced tea. You can turn it whatever you want. So, what are the 5 steps for positive thinking? First of all, you have to focus on the solution. I mean, thinking of the problem is not going to lead you anywhere, except going into circles and circles and circles. And in the end of the day, you're not going to find any solution.
And you will be depressed.
Exactly. That's a
And
good
you will
thing.
see everything negative. Everything, regardless what are you looking at.
Exactly. And if you change your mood, you're going to be thinking in a positive mode. And we call that positive mental attitude. So go out, change your way of sitting, have a walk. You will find a solution just like that into your mind. Then, what if negative thoughts still, arise? Well, I'll tell you. Just ask yourself 3 questions. First question, well, what will happen to me if I just continue thinking about that?
And what will happen more than what happened already?
Exactly. Then, if I stop thinking, negatively, well, I'm going to be paid off. What kind of payoff I'm going to get? Well, a lot. Because you're going to stop negative thoughts, and then you're going to think in a very positive way. Then you're going to have a lot of rewards. Then the last question. What is the best thing going to happen to me if I just continue thinking in a positive way? Then you're going to have a lot of lists, okay? What the worst thing will happen if I still continue thinking in a negative way? Well, you'll find it, minimized. Every time you do that, you'll find it minimized, until it's vanished. It's not there anymore.
There are certain personalities that really, when they are shocked with negative things in their life, they just feel that this is going to be the end of the world, and they feel depressed, and they cannot move on to this way. I always say talking is that easy, but when we come to the actions, it's not that easy.
Yeah. You mean if when we want to put things into action, well, here's the big deal. Well, I'll tell you the big deal. Okay. Action it comes from the Latin word motivation. So it's motivation. Motive is you motivate yourself, then put things into action.
And how to motivate myself?
Well, have you ever heard about the self-esteem? Okay. Self-esteem comes from meditation. We've lost that in our life. Okay. People normally used to have a morning tea. We've stopped having the morning tea. We've stopped having breakfast even. Okay. We have to go back for old customs. Sometimes old customs will enhance our self-esteem. We have to get sometimes a pleasure time. I mean, people always think about work. Work is not going to be end.
Maybe we have something in our culture that we do not know how to enjoy our weekend, for example.
Yeah.
Let's not say a vacation, a weekend.
I've never heard about that either.
One day and... Yes, it is true. Usually we see, maybe in other countries, Western countries, we see that the weekend is that specialized for the family, for going out, for enjoying the time, so that we can be able to proceed and start the new week.
So I'll tell you what, there are differences between our culture and Western culture. We take the best out of that, okay, which is how to find the best of what we love to do and keep doing that. So if you find something, you're going to do it not only in the weekend. Why not that every day on our life is a weekend? Why not to enjoy life in everywhere at any time? Why not? I mean, what the worst would happen? Well, as a matter of fact, I've tried. 80% of people, they were thinking about that. 80% of them didn't find any worst happen.
Well, we're going to proceed, and as usual, we have some of our interviews that were held with some of our youth. We will watch them together, and we'll be back.
Well, it's the best time ever because after that after the exhaustion of studying and exams and blah blah blah. So I like to take benefit of my vacation by doing one of my hobbies like drawing architecting and decoration. You know, I have trained the last summer in decoration. It was really fun, and I was gaining my salary just as a worker at the company. So I had gained money and gained experience and had fun too. So
Well, they speak good, and I really like what they did say. But my question is, how are we gonna walk the talk? I mean, we
Are they
talk.
going to
Yeah,
do
yeah,
what
exactly.
you have just said?
Yeah, yeah.
Let me ask, how to accept failure? Because some people do not accept it and they consider this is the end and they never think of retrying again.
Yeah. So now I wish if we have a time machine and we start our journey through time and go to ask Thomas Edison, I know he will answer the same thing as I did read from one of the articles in his book. He said that every time I do a new experiment to get the light that we are enjoying right now, I tell myself, well, this is a new experiment. I love it. I will do my best to achieve the best of what God gave me inside of my soul. How many times Thomas did to have the light now? Imagine, 999 times. And every time they always call him failure. You're a failure, you're a failure. And he said, no, I'm not a failure. I'm just a new person who tries new experiment, and at the end of the day I'm going to give you the light. And now we are enjoying the light of Thomas Edison.
999.
Yeah,
I would say that really thinking nowadays of anyone who would try to do something even twice or thrice better. Well, we have a caller. Hello?
Hello.
Hello?
Hello, good evening.
Good evening,
Good evening.
Iman.
Hello, my dear. Actually, I'm a little bit frustrated because you see, the 5 steps actually depend upon do that, do that, do that. And the problem actually in the negative thinking is that the brain is really paralyzed. It's blind, it's deaf. It is like a paralyzed muscle. Like you have a paralyzed patient, someone, and you keep telling him, "Yalla, yalla, hop, hop." I mean, just imagine that just a complete paralyzed patient or person, and then you keep telling him, "You have 5 steps. First, you move your arm. How can he move his arm and then his leg and then his big toe? How come it is paralyzed? There is physiotherapy for the muscle. The first question is what is the real physiotherapy for the mental paralysis to wash out the negative things? Because you see, you just like, I give you another example. Someone is drowning in the middle of the Pacific Ocean, little bit just keeping his head above the surface, not drowning, and then you pass by with a beautiful boat and tell him, yalla, keep